Boardwalk Empire, Season 4, Episode 7, titled William Wilson. The theme of this episode: the old is getting older and it's time for the new to step up, or for the new to take down the ones who are in their way. New characters in the Season 4 are chipping away at the old characters, or the ones who are in charge. Jay Edgar, who seems to be kind of going to be a main character on Boardwalk Empire. Incidentally, he takes credit when credit is not his to take. He takes credit for the informant's discoveries on this whole criminal enterprise in Chicago, in New York City, in Atlantic City, in Philadelphia. And this is how Hoover gets his his clout. This is what Hoover does. This is what the history of Hoover has told us. Curious where they're going to take this character. There's so many cliches they can take the Hoover character, but he is who he is. It's a pretty understated performance. I kind of like where they're taking this. Dr. Valentin, who is the major theme of this episode, he kills and manipulates whoever's in his way. Sex and religion are the two best ways for him to do that. That's what he uses. He's a good speech maker. He in a sense, it's all about the ideals of society, making the world a better place. Religious rhetoric. He can guide the masses that way, and then he can manipulate the ones who are on the way up, like Chalky, like through sex. And he's kind of doing it in kind of like from both ends of the spectrum, and doing it in a masterful way. Eli's son quits school, wants to be with Nucky now, and this will cause a rift between the two brothers. But it's all about Eli's son's, it's what they wanted to do with AJ Sopranos, but I guess they didn't have the performance in them, or David Chase just want to take it more of a thematic way. But this is a rise of a guy who's going to work in the criminal world, where he's a smart guy. He can graduate from university. Something bad happens because of his anger, and then it will change him, because he in 2 episodes before, he basically took advantage of another person's innocence, and basically that got him off of the murder of his student. And this will change this guy's mind, and this is what his arc is of Season 4. Margaret, who has a Wall Street job, so introduction to Margaret, who looks a lot different. She's got a little bit of a hairstyle change. She's working on Wall Street, and it's almost like the parlay of just like a Jay Edgar's world, in that kind of FBI informant and the CIA, meaning that perhaps they're just as corrupt as the criminal world. Perhaps Wall Street is just as corrupt. She runs into Rothstein, who's playing the common man, so they have a mutual benefit of not to tell on each other, which is kind of cool to see. Johnny Torrio in Chicago could be on his way out. Capone wants to take down the police force and everyone around him because of his brother, but even because it's more about control. And Torrio basically says in one of the final scenes of the episode that he's just too tired. He just wants to go to bed. It's like a young man's game. And this is Capone, and we know through history, just like Jay Edgar, that Capone is going to be the notorious gangster of the 1920s. It's 1924, and he's still like a high middleman. He's still not in charge. And I think this is the season where he becomes in charge. Gillian and the Roy Phillips romance, the common man and the lady with many stories. Kind of like a mutual benefit between the two of them. Kind of curious where they're going to go in the next 6 episodes with this, but really thematically, this is about people who are the new generation coming up and kind of taking over, like Capone, like Eli's son, like Dr. Valentin, like Jay Edgar, and this is about them kind of like putting their feet down and kind of like removing the people who are in their way. That's my review.